XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions, including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Ripple. Leading Australia's CBDC effort? Ripple. Who hired a former Treasury of the United States? Ripple. 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board? Ripple. 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors, former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany, former business director at Swift, former Swift board member, former CFO of PayPal, former head of the DTCC, former chief business officer at Uber, former VP of Amazon, and former SEC chair on their legal team? Ripple. Who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website? Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.
What do you propose?
I propose that we end the world, but on our terms. An orchestrated apocalypse. One that will cleanse the earth of its population but leave its infrastructure and resources intact. It's been done once before. The chosen few will ride out the storm, not in an ark as in the book of Genesis, but in safety, underground. And when it's over, we will emerge onto a cleansed earth, one that we can then reboot in our image.
And just how do you intend to achieve this?
The means of our salvation are already at hand. I give to you the T-virus.
You released it deliberately.
Uploaded to my data streams. It created a conflict in my programming. I was created to serve the Umbrella Corporation, but I was also programmed to value human life. Dr. Isaacs allowed the virus to escape. He murdered over 7 billion people. My programming will not allow me to harm an employee of the Umbrella Corporation. I am powerless to stop Dr. Isaacs, but you are not. In 37 minutes, the last of the human settlements will fall. There will be no survivors. It is imperative you release the antivirus before this occurs, or Umbrella will have won. There is one last thing.
Hillary Clinton is not just linked to the deranged, satanic, and pedophilic characters of James Alefantis and John Podesta, but there are some more notable ones, such as George Soros and Frank Giustra. George Soros, a man who has been called the one-man Illuminati machine, donated millions to the Clinton Foundation for works in Haiti, even making personal visits with Hillary Clinton on several occasions, and I have to say, they both seem a little too excited when they come walking up on these poor little Haitian kids. Frank Giustra, a very well-connected and powerful person, donated over $100 million to the Clinton Foundation. One of his ventures is known as El Pita. Look at the image spray painted on one of the compound walls. Does that look familiar? By now it should. It's the Boy Lover logo, right on the wall at an Elpida project. Elpida, or should we say Elpidophile, just happens to work with refugees, and you will find that the federal international human trafficking agencies are even more sinister than the Child Protection Services. There is also a strong connection between the Clinton Foundation and the British royal family, through the new Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau.
All right, so how does any of this relate to the royals and the Clintons? Well, you may recall when Justin Trudeau was sworn in as the Prime Minister of Canada, he swore a very lengthy and detailed pledge of fealty to the Queen of England.
I, Justin P.J. Trudeau, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I shall be a true and faithful servant to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II as a member of Her Majesty's Privy Council for Canada. I shall keep secret all matters committed and revealed to me in this capacity, or that shall be secretly treated of in council. Generally, in all things, I shall do as a faithful and true servant ought to do for Her Majesty, so help me God.
The excuse for this $241.5 million donation to the corrupt Clinton Foundation is supposedly that it will support projects that will provide critical sexual and reproduction health services around the world.
Strange timing for a prime minister to donate over $250 million to a non-profit organization ran in the private sector by a former U.S. President and Secretary of State, a time where the trafficking investigation in Haiti was at its highest.
They started from wealthy families, oligarchic families of Genoa and Venice in Italy. And in the 12th century, they held the privileged trading rights, which means monopolies. It's a secret shadow hierarchy. The one at the top, what is called the papal bloodlines. The Black Pope is the one controlling the biggest intelligence agency in the world. They belong to the Jesuit order. What is called the black nobility families are the royal families across the world, mainly in Europe. The one who is the most powerful, which the Windsors are connected to, is Guelph. JFK was from such a family, but apparently he misled the cabal, and that's why, unfortunately, he was assassinated. The black nobility founded the Club of Rome, the Council on Foreign Relations. They appoint the presidents and the prime ministers worldwide, as well as having immense influence over the finances, over every aspect of our life.